Just got, not long ago, a new watch that I'm really quite pleased with for a number of reasons. It actually is a pretty new watch. If I told you, of course, that a group of engineers got together to design this watch, and they handed the design to some very skilled technicians that did what they needed to do, and it finally went to a very skilled factory that put it together, and that factory sent it to a wholesaler who sent it to a jeweler who sold it to the person that gave it to me as a gift. You'd probably believe me, wouldn't you? But let me tell you, that's not what happened at all. Millions and millions of years ago. Why are you laughing? Millions and millions of years ago, there were some atoms randomly floating through the universe. And through cosmic winds and gravitational fields and who knows what, they started to come together and coalesce to become various materials. There's a clear piece of glass, I guess it is, and so forth. And it's amazing. Some of it is a special kind of silicon, so it gets its energy from the sun. Doesn't need batteries or it needs to be wound, and so on and so forth. And obviously I could go on, but I can look at your faces and you don't believe me. You don't believe me at all, do you? You won't believe that this watch happened by accident. And yet it is trivial compared to the wrist on which it resides. The watch is an open loop system. Has some mechanics that are open loop. This one happens not to be open loop because it gets a radio signal to keep it on time. But the point is, the wrist it resides on is a closed loop system. And there's probably not one engineer in 1,000 that knows how to do a Nyquist resolution of the feedback loops involved with something like that. Not only is it a closed loop system, it is self-healing. It attacks invaders. I mean, I could go on and on about my wrist. And from a design point of view, it's astonishing what it does compared to the watch. And you won't let me teach the kids that the watch had to be designed. And yet you insist that I teach the kids that the wrist happened by accident. That somehow inorganic rocks came together and made life, and that life got more and more clever. And the whole story is, you can't probably contrive a more ridiculous scenario than the scenario that is forced upon our public. Not just in the schools with the textbooks that have deliberate deceit in them, but in our culture. All our fields of interest, whether it's psychology, law, whatever, is influenced by this commitment to the idea that millions and millions of years ago all this just happened. The most elaborate insult to the Creator that man has ever contrived. The ancient cultures worshipped idols, which wasn't good, but not nearly as insulting as arguing that a Creator wasn't necessary.